Hi everyone, and welcome to our video tutorial today where we're going to take a look at setting up a rate package within your new book system. Rate packages are great because they allow our guests various rate plans or options when they come to stay with you. They can offer breakfast that might be included, or it could even be something along the lines of firewood that they get upon check-in. At a property level, this is a great way to increase revenue, and it also allows you to report on how successful that package was and how many bookings you received. Before you go in and create your rate, there are two areas that you need to look at first. The first being the inventory item page in your book. So if you are wanting to include some sort of item such as firewood, you need to have an inventory item created first. So if we head to our inventory item page within the new book system, to create a brand new one, you simply select Add Inventory Item in the top. I've got one here that we'll quickly take a look at. All I've done is select the name, description. I've also placed what area in the client account I need that to appear and the general ledger account for my financial and tax reporting. I've selected the value of this, and I've also gone into my booking/rate inventory item details to look at some of the extra settings that we have within here. These are really important because this is all to do with how this extra fee is actually going to affect the rate that the guest books. So if I'm going to be putting this firewood fee into a rate, I have options here on the right as to how I want that to contribute to the stay cost. So if I want this $15 charge to bump up the nightly rate, I would leave it on increase. If you're wanting to do more of a bundled package where, let's say it's $50 a night for the site, and you want the $15 portion to actually be included in that $50 value, you would use the include option. Exclude is a great way to incorporate other sorts of extras, such as refundable bonds that are not necessarily to do with the actual stay cost and something extra that they will be paying for separately. We also recommend that you take a look at the deposit contribution settings here as to how you would like this extra item to contribute to the deposit request that you ask for guests to pay in order to confirm their booking with you, and also whether or not you would like this item to be discounted if they have a booking discount. Lastly, it is helpful also to take a look at the travel agent commissionable setting, because if you were to add this onto a booking and you set it to travel agent commissionable, they will receive a commission off of this cost as well. The last areas we recommend checking are the actual pricing structure of this. So if you are charging on a per person level, you would need to update these settings and remove the value in the base amount. And if you are wanting to not have just a once-off fee and charge it on a particular day or a repeat interval, you've got the flexible options here where you can manipulate the billing increment of that item. Other than that, once you're happy with the settings, you can then select Save. The second area we need to set up is what we call our rate type. So this is the name that identifies what kinds of rates you've got available. So your guests will be able to see this online if you sell it on your website, and your staff will be able to see this if they were making a booking from the bookings chart or looking at your rates chart. So I'm going to call this one my daily rate plus firewood, and I've got a short description in there so that my staff know what is included in this particular package. We do have some various restrictions and filters that we can look at below as well to refine this further. Otherwise, if we're happy, we then simply save. Now that we've got those two areas set up, we can go and actually create our rate. So we would head to our Add Rate page. We need to enter the rate name so it's clear for us to identify what this rate is. So RV Site and Firewood for my high season 2023. This is a basic rate that I'm setting up. So it's going to be $50 per night. It includes 2 persons, and any extras will be billed at the options below here. Now, when I want to incorporate a package item, I can then click on this inventory item button below. To add my firewood, I then select Add Inventory Item, search through my list of setup items available. Once I've selected that, just cross-checking the settings to ensure you're happy with those. With this particular rate package, I actually want the price per night to be increased from this cost. So yes, it'll be $50 a night for this site, but they will pay, an extra $15 on top of that. And if I have a look below here, we see the amount, and we can also see it's a once-off charge. So if they were staying one night, they would pay $65. If they were staying multiple nights, again, they're only charged $15 once for that stay. You also have the ability at the bottom here to actually preset inventory item tasks. So if you wanted your maintenance team or housekeeping team, whoever it was, to go and place that firewood bag in the site that they're staying on for arrival, you could add a task on here, which is very helpful. Other than that, we simply save. We would also go through and select our deposit rules that we may have pre-configured in the system, adjustment fees for cancellations as per normal, and then once we're happy, we can then save our new rate. The final step with applying your rate in the system can be done at the bottom of the page here, where we say Add Applied Rate. This is where we connect the dots. So we're going to select our new rate type called Daily Rate and Firewood. It's automatically selected the rate. Over on the right, I'm then going to say that that is for my tent and hookup sites. And on my rate period, it's for my high season. If I had more to apply, I would select Save Another. Otherwise, if that's the only rate package I'm applying for the season and for that style of accommodation, I'd simply save. If we now head to our rates chart, we're then going to be able to see that my site style accommodation now has this price available per night. If we were to make a booking, and head to our bookings chart, select our nights, add from chart new booking, we're then going to be able to see our additional rate types or rate packages that are available. So we can see daily rate and firewood. Once I've selected that, adds the nightly cost plus a $15 charge and gives us our grand total. If we were to save this booking in the system, you'll be able to see the booking ID. And if we have a look on the right under our billing section, you can see the daily rate and firewood rate, the actual firewood charged, any taxes that are associated with that, and the cost for the guest to actually stay. One of the added benefits for this as well is, again, the ability to actually report on this. So by having an inventory item included within this actual rate, we can identify a general ledger account code against that, so that when it comes to your financial reports, NewBook will know what to split out for the rate per night just for the accommodation versus the firewood revenue that you've brought in. As I mentioned earlier, with the firewood charge, if this was something that you wanted to bundle and include in the actual nightly rate and not increase it, all you would do is set it to include when you create that inventory item, and it will look something like this. So you would have it preset in the rate to include in the stay cost. And once we save this, you'll be able to see in here that it still shows the cost, but it actually reduces that total rate by $15 to allow the firewood to take up the remaining balance of that. If you wanted to report on how successful your various rates are or rate packages, you can then have a look at such reports as our bookings staying report. If we run it in the current period where the actual guests are staying and we want to display what rate type they're actually booked in, we can group the report to view it via rate type. Once we run that, you're then going to see a list of how many bookings are actually staying during that date on that specific rate package. That does bring us to the end of our video tutorial today on rate packages. As always, if you do have any questions, feel free to check out our question mark icon in the top right-hand corner of each page to locate any recommended articles pertaining to the screen that you're looking at. You also have the search option in the top.